Hi, and welcome to Clarifying, Cleansing, and Clearing, calling in what you desire for the coming year. I know what you must be thinking. Isn't it a little early to be worrying about the new year? Well, in addition to being a coach and healer, I've been a kindergarten teacher for a number of years, and I'm a college professor now. And for me, September has always felt like the true new year. In September, we return to a time of knuckling down after a time of play. In September, we have a fresh start and an air of newness and possibility. And in September, we get to buy new clothes. In fact, the energy of the fall is all about going inward, reflecting on ourselves, our lives, our work, our love, or lack thereof. It's time to reassess who we are, what we want, and how we plan to go about getting it. And yes, folks, I am talking about manifesting, or womanifesting, as I like to call it. There are 3 parts to womanifesting, as I see it: clarifying, cleansing, and clearing. First, you need to get very clear on what it is you want to call in. That's the clarifying part. In many ways, this is the most important step because you can't get to the other 2 until you address that first one. What this part is really about is goal setting. Personal, spiritual, emotional, financial, and every other way. Goal setting. And not just for now, but for 5 years from now, 10 years from now, your lifetime. These goals aren't set in stone. They evolve as we evolve. They age as we age, transform as we transform. But if you don't know where you want to go, how do you know when you get there? Then we work on the cleansing part. That means getting rid of any beliefs, habits, ways of thinking about ourselves and our relationships, or our money or time, anything that holds us back and keeps us stuck from getting where we want to go. And finally, we need to clear out of the way and let the universe do its work. By completing these first 2 steps, we align ourselves to what we want, magnetizing money or a new man or a new way of life to our being and our energy field. During the rest of the video series, I'll be talking about the cleansing and clearing aspects. But for now, let's concentrate on the clarifying part. When we focus on what we want, it acts as a lightning rod to the universe, because most people acknowledge that the universe is all about giving us what we say we want, or what our energy speaks about, desiring. This taps into one of the most basic principles of manifesting. What we focus on is what we call into our lives. That's why we need to be precise about what we desire. Think of it this way. You go to a fancy restaurant, and when the waitress comes over, you glance at the menu and order a steak. But then you think about it and you realize, no, what you really want is chicken. And then you notice that there's a fish tank by the door and you think, maybe I should have some seafood. By now the waitress is fed up. And frankly, she doesn't even remember what you ordered anymore. What you get on your plate is anybody's guess. Does this mean you should only address one goal at a time? Not at all. The universe is sometimes like the proverbial lazy husband. If you give him just one thing to do, he'll wait around all day before he gets it done. But if you give him a list of things to do, then he knows he can't just sit around, he has to get to work right away. So what we want to do is give the universe a honey-do list in order to really get things moving. Here's your homework. You do remember that I'm a teacher, right? Sit down in a quiet place and turn your attention inward. Breathe deeply and call up 3 or 4 or 5 things that you want to bring into your life right now. They could be practical things like a new car, or more spiritual assets like more peace in your life. Whatever moves you. Write them down on a piece of paper and keep them handy. You'll need them for the next video, which will be out in just a couple of days. See you then.